All right, all right, all right, all right. Shalom, shalom, and shalom, Sister Deborah. Coming this evening after the Sabbath with a message. And this is going to be a very interesting message. And I'm hoping not to be too long, but I'm coming with a message, and it's really about bringing things to the light. A lot of people have no idea they are glued to the darkness. And the reason why I say that is because their understanding, their wisdom, their knowledge, their interpretation, a lot of it is glued to the darkness. And how you know is ask the simple questions. And when you ask the simple questions, the questions in which it's right before us. That's where the problem is at, because it's not questions that someone's reaching way out in the deep for. It's things that's right before us. And if we can't see behind darkness to bring light, then we need to make sure we're in our right place at this midnight hour. Because we're in the midnight hour, you guys. Whether you know it or not, it's not important if you know it or not. It's important that the facts and that the will of my Father is continuing to be done. And that's what's important to me, more so than anything. So I'm coming today with these, uh, and it's not so much as questions. It's just reading different chapters and bringing out the verse and seeing us interact in a way that we can bring the light, and we might have to do it together. Bring the light out of the darkness so you can get a feel of what the Most High is talking about to his servant. You are to bring light out of the midst of darkness. And the only thing about it is the way he tells me this is not to where I'm going to bring light out and everybody's going to awaken and everybody's going to come to the knowledge. That's not what he said. He said, if they have not come to the knowledge by now, there's no knowledge for them to come to. Okay. So I know that's a hard pill to swallow, but it's also the reality of what is truth. Okay. So I'm just here this evening because during my Sabbath time, which I end up doing many things during this Sabbath time. And the main thing was to make sure that I get what the Spirit wants me to have so that I could share it with others and not just receive it and keep it going. So I'm here to also share in what the Father has given unto me during the time of the Sabbath, this Sabbath. Again, like I said before, a lot of people play this role as if they want you to think that they keep a Sabbath. They really don't keep any Sabbath. First and foremost, they don't know what the Sabbath day is really for. Even those who get on here and make you think, hey, happy Sabbath, when they finish, they ain't in no Sabbath. Now, there's two Sabbaths. There are two Sabbaths. There's one in the flesh and there's one in the spirit. If you have not the understanding of the Sabbath that rests in the spirit, then this is why the world is so lost in their understanding. And it's not so much as they're lost, it's just the way that they want to rumble the Sabbath in the flesh and make you think that they're following a protocol of something that was said as a commandment is to keep the Sabbath. But I'm grateful for the Father showing me and allowing me to live to understand the Sabbath in the spirit realm, because the Sabbath wasn't for the flesh, meaning it wasn't for man. And see, that's what they think. They don't understand it was for the spirit, and it was for Yah to interact with our inner man. And we're trying to role play it on the outside like we got a relationship in the Sabbath. We role playing it by doing certain things and portraying this is what you're not supposed to do on the Sabbath and this is what you should do. All that, y'all, is so much fake, hypocritic, false deception, just everything, just all wrong about it. But it ain't nothing that the Father didn't know that they would do. And I'm a grateful servant of the Most High. Y'all taught from the level of the wilderness, because I think about it even now, you guys, had not he taught me from the wilderness level, I wouldn't know what I know today. I'm going to be honest. He taught me from a place. The wilderness is a place that Yah has prepared. You see what I'm saying? It's not the wilderness that they got you believing in the Bible, in this book, what they call the biblical. It's a wilderness as it was back then. And just because, hear me out. Just because back then they were ignorant, they're more ignorant to today than they were yesterday. See, me being a young teenager, I knew that if he took them to this wilderness from one bad place, he wasn't taking them, people. They taught you all lies. What creator would come down off his throne, set it up from the floor up, that he sent Moses and Aaron inside of Pharaoh and Pharaoh empire, and tell Pharaoh to let my people go, but yet send his servant Moses and Aaron, and then himself hardens Pharaoh's heart. The Father was talking to this same stiff-necked, rebellion and disobedient people this very day, which is worse than yesterday. He wanted them to see. Why would he go through all that and not have a better place for you? Any place should have been better than where you were. You was in slavery. You were being beaten, killed, and in prison, and in bondage. How dare you all teach and preach that the wilderness, it's a place of this and this? You's a fool. You're going to live a fool, and you're going to die a fool. And you're going to be a fool still when you rise to your eternal destiny. You just be going in there a fool. Because I'm going to say the reason why I'm telling you this and I'm feeling this thing is because when people that don't even know me, when I tell them that I'm a servant of the Most High and I'm taught from the wilderness level, because they want to know what church you go to, what pastor you under. They want that fleshly image to give the glory and the honor to. No, I ain't gonna give you no name of no church. I ain't gonna give you no pastor. I'm gonna give you the Most High Yah, the Creator himself. He's my teacher. Did not he say that he would come and he would teach us? Why do we got to give it all the glory to the flesh of a man? Why? That's the sickness of this world. So I'm like saying, I would tell them, the wilderness. They say, oh, baby, we got to get you out that wilderness. No, you the fool. You don't need to get me out of the wilderness. I'm going to live and die there. And I'm content. I'm okay right there in that wilderness where I'm being taught. Because the ignorance of people today, 99.9 still ignorant to the wilderness in which he took them out of captivity, bondage, where they're being beaten and murdered and in full bondage. And he was bringing them out through the wilderness, in the wilderness. So he would have to have had a better place than where they were. Why take them out of the out of the bondage and the captivity of Pharaoh to just bring them back to the wilderness? It doesn't make sense. It's because y'all, they lied to you like they constantly keep lying. They're going to continue to lie. And it's okay. The Father say the lies is okay. People have fed into it. You all have fed into it for so long till y'all is willing to say, hands up, let them go. Let them go where they need to go. That's what he told the parable of the tare being that was growing with the wheat. Let them alone. I'm the separator. I'm going to do the separation. So people always say that to me, especially people who've been in the church for so long. They might say, ma'am, you know, I'm telling you, you can't be in the wilderness. Sit your tail down. I know what the wilderness is. You don't. And I check them, baby. I check them in a minute. And you have to know what the wilderness is and what it was. And stop believing. It's too late, though, telling you to stop. Because people their brain is sealed with darkness. So you can't penetrate them. They've been in this cult and in this religions and in this system of believing the flesh is the one that rules and has the authority and have truth. People really believe the flesh is what has truth. That's how far from home they are. And the Father said, it's okay, Deborah. It's okay. So the reason why I brought that up is I'm taught from a level not like unto everybody else. Do that make me special? No. I sin, I have iniquity, and I'm not perfect. I'm still in the flesh. Okay? But there's something in me greater than on anything on the outside of me. That is what is important. That's where that everything is at. I'm taught from that level. So I say the wilderness because there is a place that he teaches me. And it's not somebody's building that's built with bricks. It's not somebody's position of a priest, a pope, apostle, a prophet, a prophetess, a Maureen, a seer, a pastor. All this bull crap. I give them not the glory, but the Most High Yah. All glory and honor for not who he is just today, which you don't know, but who he was, that make him who he is and who he's going to be. It's closed in the wilderness, Father. It's over. It's over. So today I'm going to touch with many of different verses and that's in your study guide, King James Version. Okay. And we're going to touch on some chapters and some verses out of the chapter. We're not going to touch chapters as a whole, but verses that's within the chapters. But I got a few other things to talk about. And I noticed this, and it is, I got the feel that people do not care about righteous. You know, does it bring me to a stress level? Yes, to be honest. David had stress. Okay. It brings me to that level that people really don't care about righteous at all. And to me, that's a dangerous situation to be in. But it is what it is. You see, it is what it is. But I just wanted to share that with you because that's a feel in my spirit, y'all. And if what people to me don't understand is, and it ain't meant for them to understand, but I'm going to step into this anyway and say it. I look at myself as a servant of the Most High Yah, taught from the wilderness. And if he shared things with me and I'm having this feeling in what he shared with me, let me tell you, it's on. It ain't about who you think you are or what you think you are or who you think he is. And I'm so sick of people thinking they know what they don't know. And it's okay. It's okay. You stay where you at. Okay? Just stay on that side where you at with your knowing. Okay? But I sat and I said, Father, it makes sense. It's just so heavy that don't nobody care about righteous. They don't want to be in the midst of it. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to see it. It's just everybody seems like they want to see chaos. I don't know if you all are feeling that thing, but it's like people don't want to see peace. They don't want to see joy. They don't want to see happiness. They don't want to see righteous in the midst of anything. They want to see fighting. They want to see hell cutting up on the earth. They want to see hate. They want to see wicked and evil, and they entertain to that level. They actually entertain themselves from that level. But this is where they're at. And this is where they're going to be. Even tomorrow. When it's all said and done. They better enjoy their entertainment today. Because tomorrow they're going to feel it. All that they have entertained. Because from this level, where I can discern it from that wilderness, that's what I was speaking about, the wilderness and where I'm talking. Let me tell you, I can feel that thing. People don't want righteous. They don't want it nowhere in their zone. They don't want it on their left. They don't want it on the right. They don't want it in front of them. They don't want it in the back. But they want all the chaos. They don't want joy. They don't want peace. They don't want none of that. Hold up just a little while longer. Just a little while longer. It's coming. What you want is coming. Hold up just a little while longer. It's coming. You're going to get what you've been waiting for. Hold up. Keep on playing in your darkness and in your wickedness and loving this chaos. So the more I see that, and I see that they're doing it more and more and more, and the people are marveling off of it. So they adding it more and more and more. And I'm like, something wrong with this. So today I was talking to the Most High about how people don't even care about righteous Father. In the sense that he's going to say, when leave him alone. Leave him, go on your way. Leave him alone. Leave him. You know, I'm serious. That's how I was approaching the throne in a way. They don't even care, you know, because, I had to go there because I was feeling that thing. I was feeling the ideal of not being, and this is where the mistake, you all make a mistake is. This is your one of your mistakes on this earth, in this world, is when y'all send his, he ain't sending you another. You got the best you gonna get. So you can fly a kite all day and all night. In the wind or when it's no wind, you can fly a kite. It don't matter. He ain't gonna send you what your flesh desire. So it's no need in looking and thinking you're gonna run over here. No, it is a reason. Run. You're not too far away. Run. You're almost close to where you need to be. That's where you need to reside. Cause this end, I pity you. And y'all might not believe it. I feel sad for you. Because if you ain't on the right end, that means you on the left end. Hello. Okay. So I wanted to say that because I was feeling that thing today, that righteous don't have a place here on this earth, even though it rules. It's the creator. So what does that tell me as a servant of the Most High down here? It's worse than I can even run my mouth that it is. It's just that bad. Okay, let's see here. Oh wow. You know what? I don't know if you was on here. A couple of people have said that same thing about people looking like, I'm serious. And they look like, who was it? Maybe some, there are those that was on here not too long ago. Two different people talk about people appear to be looking as like they zombies. But you're saying it's what? Out here and they just stare like the deer in the headlight. Wow. and they look like zombies. But I don't know if you. Now I don't think you was here, but on here. But and that's it's been about a month or so. Someone was saying that it ain't even been that long. I don't think. A couple of different people said the same thing, and I think one said she was in the mall. I believe she said, and seemed like everywhere. It wasn't that she was in a daze. She just said it felt like the people appeared to be zombies. I don't know what she really fully meant by that, but I can understand it. I put it like that, because that's just where we at, and whether people accept it or not. So what? Who they think they are? They ain't nobody. So another one I wanted to also to let you all know. I listened to this one Mexican. I hate to say what nationality he is, but he's on YouTube and he does a lot of work on all different kind of cars. He's been warning, and this has been probably 6 months ago, but I've heard him lately as well. But you never know that people are saying things and people are bypassing what they're saying because people are not in the reality of what is righteous. They in the reality what is unrighteous, and they walking therein and calling it righteous. He was talking about, he got his own page and he works on all kind of cars. He said what they're doing is, and it's a big thing here in this country. This is what he said. You can take your car in for one thing. And when you take your car in for one thing, they're going to fix that one thing, but they're going to mess something else up. I thought that man was just talking. Yeah, I heard him about 6 or 7 times saying the same thing. I thought he was just talking. But you guys, he's talking truth. Just no one's hearing it. Because people think they are exempt from people wronging them and wrongdoing. They just don't think they should be included. They think they excluded. It happened to me. It didn't happen 3 times. And in me, I'm like, 3 different supposed to be A1 auto repairs. Those are the ones that's doing it. You put it in there for one thing. When you get it out, guess what? Something else greater than what you put it in there is going on with your transportation. And you're trying to figure out, wait a minute, didn't I pay for, what is it, a diagnosis? It wasn't this three days ago. And I heard from it, y'all. I heard so dear I said, Father, I'm going to court. I'm not going for that. I'm not. This is 3 times in a row. That's that's 3 times. That's it. I'm going to court. And you know what? Each time I want to walk into that stage of going down to the courthouse, the Father said, leave it alone. And I'm like saying, but Father, and I'm running my mouth toward the Father. And he started saying, leave it alone. You know what he said to me? Each time he tells me, Deborah, I know this is what they did, and you know it. He reminded me of that man that had said it. And he said, this is what they're doing today. Just because people are thinking that all is well today, all is good, you can just walk in anywhere and everywhere and get what you need and get this and get it. It ain't like that. It's higher of level of wickedness than it ever been. Don't just teach that to the people about today. It's worse than any other day. But you look for it to be a better day for you. He said, no, it ain't going to be a better day for you. If I'm telling you to tell them, it ain't a better day for them either. So it's meaning you too. And I'm just so hurt. And each time I want to go to court, because I know I got all the receipts, and the judge will say, how you going to charge her this type of money? And then turn around. The car stopped 3 days. Then you tell her it needs a whole new engine. How do you think you're going to get away with that? You would think that that's but let me tell you what he's saying. He said, by them being the A1 auto place, everyone you're going to good ones. They're the one doing the crookedness. I looked up on the first one. I looked him up and looked that company up, and they had 5 stars. But guess what? 5 reviews happened identical to the way it happened to me. Guess what, too? Melanated people. 3 females and 2 males, melanated. Now they way out to where in the European area, where that's where they stay, and it's supposed to be a grade A. But guess what? When I read their reviews, identical to mine, and I'm like saying to the Father, is this some sort of test for me or what? Well, I know if I stepped in the court, they will award me more than what they took from me. I know they would. But the Father says, leave it alone. Because they doing the crookedness. And the crookedness is going to do them. It's going to go back from everyone they thinking they doing it to. It's going to come back to haunt him. Oh, no, baby. You know they can't do you like that and get away with it. I got you. And I got them too. How about that? Meaning a different guy. You see what I'm saying? But it hurts in my flesh because, like I tell y'all, I'm not just flesh, I'm spirit too. Okay? So if you think that I'm supposed to not feel nothing, use a fool, you're gonna live a fool and die a fool. I sin, I have iniquity, I'm not perfect. And that's how, did you know that's how all these pastors and bishops and priests got to the level where they at? Because the poor people put them up there. They put them up there. And they ain't nothing but trash. So just because somebody put them up there, don't mean they up there. They ain't nowhere near nothing but hell. How about that? How you like me now? They ain't nothing but hell. Walking. And just because the people put them up that high, that's on them. That shows you the mentality of this world and they state of mind. So I wanted to talk about that because a man he is, and you can go on there and you probably can see him too on YouTube. He's telling people, warning them that these not nice. He said these good mechanics, they're breaking one thing as you put it in there for one thing, they fix it. Oh, said this and this and this, and you get it fixed. Soon as it come out, it's worse. So I did this here. The third time was last week. Because the last time they messed it up so bad after paying all that money, it can't even run. So I'm like saying that was way back. But now you put it in there and I say, wait a minute. Y'all fixed this, but why is this here messing up? I took it back to him. We don't know what is going on. See, we're trying to figure this out. I said, but it wasn't like that when I brought it in. So how did it get like that? I said, okay, Father, how long are you going to let him do this? I'm like the angels under the altar. How long, Father? How long are you going to let him do it? I'm so grateful that he's greater in me because he knows I ain't got no sense. And sense ain't got me. Okay? So I do ask him exactly the way I'm saying it to you. How long? What is this about? When you go to court, I'm one that don't play. I present myself as a very professional type of person. And I come with my receipt and I break it down. I do my study and I break it down. But the Father said, back up. The mental state of mind is not there. They got your address, your number, they got everything. And that's what everybody's doing today. They trying to hook up with everything, all your information, because that's a part of the wickedness in the earth. That's a part of the system. The system wants everybody to know where everybody is at. Not only them, they're going to know where you at too. But the goal is, many of you all didn't understand, a lot of this, how would I say, your information is going to the little man. They letting it out to the little ones. So everybody have your information. So what he was saying is to stand down And you all do not understand this sister's in the flesh. What you mean? What you mean, Father? Y'all stand down. Oh, stand. Oh. I'll be acting a fool. But yet and all, I stand down. So it's a part of what I be teaching you all. This y'all play in this world and thinking y'all got it A1. And no, people. You can't think that people are going to treat melanated people like they treat European people. Stop it. There's no such thing. You're getting treatments 100% different than melanated people would get treatments. So we got to stop making everybody think that the same treatment is across the board. Stop that line. I can see what he mean when he said when they see Judah or Israel in Mount Zion, they gonna know that they were always my people. I can see that now, because right now on this earth, they think all the system, the laws, and the people treating everybody. No. This sister is one. My sons asked me. They said, "You stopped. You didn't stop for a couple of years almost. We're going to state sales and yard sales." I said, "I sure did." And they asked me why. I said, "Because I can discern the spirits ain't the same." So I ain't got no reason to lie. The spirits are not the same. The people's spirit is not the same. When they see you come around, you can feel their spirit is very negative and hateful. Did it used to be like that? No. I used to go anywhere, y'all. But it ain't like that no more. That's why I know what the Father is teaching me about what what day we're in is real. It's real. It's realer than real. Okay? Okay? Yeah, they keep you going back. Mm-hmm. Happened to you several times. Mm-hmm. Shalom. And the ones that I went to, they're not the brand names. They just got, it's said to have 5 stars. That's really what I should have said. And they consider A because they got 5 stars. But what I want y'all to understand, which I don't think I'm going to ever get you to understand, because like I say, until people understand that what you're dealing with, this day, I told y'all it's a full denial. Across the board, it's a full denial. People are in full denial until something happened to them and they fall under that category. Outside of that, oh, that ain't going on, or everybody measure things and think that if you say this one is doing okay, when this one, the local ones is worse than the one that has 5 stars. The problem with it is, and the message that I'm trying to get out is, the darkness is so dark, everybody is likened to their country, ripping everybody off. If the country is ripping you off, then the people are going to rip each other off. See, that's why I don't see why people don't get that. They ain't going to get it. They ain't going to get it. Because whether you know it or not, everybody is playing. Say, for instance, there is, now I ain't gonna say for instance, there is a system, okay, it's robbing the people in the United States, not like they doing to other countries, but this is how the United States snake is. The people in this country refuse to see the snake. They refuse. Oh, there ain't no snake in that grass. Surely this country is all this great old America. They have no idea. But guess what? The Father saved it for last for them. Only for them. Only for them. Because people really believe. They say one thing and they switch to another, and they say another thing, then they switch to, they can't understand. You can't do it like that. It either is or it is not. It's no middleman today, y'all. This thing is real. This wicked and evil out here is real. And to say that one is better than the other, same thing about races. We can't even, let me say that. Between white and black, we can't look over here and say the white people doing it, the black doing it just as much. People, across the board. If he let it rain on the just as well as the unjust, the white and the melanated, what did I tell you? That's where we at. In this evil, dark day, it was said across the board. And we rejecting the idea that it is across the board. Yes, it's happening. Now, but let me ask you something. Why do a female have to be on here talking that? Why do a female have to be on here trying to stress that this thing is happening? See, because what people don't know in the spirit realm, y'all don't give a rat's behind if you're male or female. He don't give a rat's behind if you're black or melanated. He don't give you rat's behind if you're old or young. Y'all is not caught up in all that. He's caught up in truth. Let the truth be known and everything else be a lie. But what we do is we cover it up and we make it non-existent. But when you say that your mechanic told you, you all, just imagine, here I am way somewhere else, a female. It's not happening to me as a female only. It's happening to males. I would say that it's happening greater to the melanated people, but melanated people, but I believe it's also happening to Europeans. The fact is, I'm trying to take y'all to where we at in this here midnight hour. It's and like the Father say, you ain't gonna be able to tell him nothing until you go through it. And I'm sitting here telling you that I went through it 3 times. And who do I blame? First, I blame the Father. You think I don't? I go straight to him. Okay. Is this the way you orchestrated my steps, Father? To always fall under this category? I'm going to court. No, you're not. You see, I know. But the thing about it, no matter if I do go to court, if he ain't with me when I go, then I'm still up Mess Creek. I still need him. So you can take your butt to court. It don't mean nothing because you still gonna need his back up and his laying down. So if he say stand down, stand down. But it's just the hurt. It's the long suffering. It's the endurance of how the world is getting away with so much and people grinning and people happy. People having so much joy and so much peace in darkness, y'all. These people are not having peace in the light. They having peace in darkness. They have totally converted peace to be found in the midnight hour, in darkness and evil and wicked. They have found good to be wicked and evil. This is what they have converted. So when I'm telling you this man has said it, the reason why I listened to him 3 times, you would think by now I would have been saying click. But what the Spirit showed me, you remember him telling you that? You see, he was telling you he don't stand even in the state that you in. It's not you, Deborah. This is what is happening across the board. But through your testimony, maybe someone else will have their antenna on. But it probably most likely won't matter. It's a darkness that's happening because we're in the midnight hour. We're in tribulation. So a lot of people ignore all of that. And they just figure, hey, I know I'm on the top. It ain't happening to me. It can happen to you. It ain't gonna happen to me. Let me explain something. These things that the Father is suffering to happen, and this is the stupidity of people. It's not a male nor female thing. Okay. Nor is it locked in on a race of people. It's not locked in on young or old. This is tribulation time, darkness like it never have been. So when you grip that, then you'll know how to take the next step in Yah, because I don't think people really get it. Same thing. To fix your house. They saying it's across the board. That's what I'm saying when I'm saying across the board. The Father want me to understand, Deborah, I know that you've gone through that, but I'm like, well, why didn't you warn me? Why didn't you help me? Why didn't you stop? You see, that's how I approach it. Yes, I do. I'm still like in a lot of our land. So this is what it means. I did not even know that David had said the same thing I've said. Last week, David was talking about, I'm in he said, what did David say? I'm in the sea and I'm drowning. And he was seeking Yah to help him to come up out so he won't drown. I was like, you mean David went? I'm learning that a lot of things that I am actually enduring and long suffering, my true brothers have actually gone through it. And I'm finding these things out because I'm so stuck on watching. This is the Father. I'm like this here, y'all. I'm so busy watching everywhere he leading me to where I'm not taking heed to any and everything, especially even in the book. I will read the book, but if y'all don't lead and guide me from it, I don't go near it. Hey, okay? So when David is saying these things, I'm like, hey, wait a minute, David. That's my testimony. Even my ex-husband can tell y'all, I told him that when I met him, and all that time we've known each other, I always told him that it's like going down and drowning. And when I can't take it, I said, Father, please give me up. Let me get up for a breather. You know what that is? I know 99.9 would never know what that is. That's long suffering. That's enduring. And your flesh and your spirit is crying out as a oneness to the Father. Please let me up for a breather. Because this stuff is just too heavy down yonder. And he'll let you up. Oh, when you up. Woo, when you up. Woo, you can feel the spirit. You can. Oh, when you up, you know the Father's in your presence. Oh, when you up, I mean, it's just a different feel, y'all. You know you up. You know he didn't let you up out of the ocean. Oh, yes. So when I heard David was saying that, I was like, oh, so David, you. See, I'm learning a lot of things, whether y'all know it or not. I'm learning that I'm not exempt. I'm included. So when I'm telling y'all those are my brothers, they are truly my spiritual brothers. Because things that they've gone through was for me to understand that I'm looking and making it so hard on myself because I'm trying to figure out why this happened to me. And why did, Father? Y'all, why you didn't warn me? Why you didn't tell me? And then David over there said the same thing. And that's what gives you that comfort to realize that, see, y'all ain't allowing nothing to come upon you that his own other servants didn't experience. Get in line with them. Just get in the line with them. You're not excluded, you included. Get in the line with them. That's what I need to do. Get in the line with David now. And stop feeling that I'm only in the line by myself. Get in the line, Deborah. Get behind them. You see? Right is wrong. Wrong is right. And that's what I see. That was my first thing that I said. It seems like nobody can even recognize righteous at all. It's just like everything wrong is considered to be panned out as right. And I'm like, how could that be? But that's how it seems like to me. Yep. When that comforter pulled up, it's over. When that comforter pulled up, it is over and it is on. So I wanted to share that with you. And another thing that I also have experienced, people are living without thinking They need Yah. That's another one I put before the Father. I said, Father, they living like they don't even need you. I sure did. I told them that this Sabbath. People are living like they don't even need you. What y'all got to say about that? Because that's the reality of what I'm seeing as a servant of the Most High Yah in the wilderness. People are living like they don't even need the Most High Yah. They just out here living it up. Like, so what? We don't need him. So I asked the Father. I said, Father, they living like they don't even need you. They ain't gonna need him because he don't need them either. We in the midnight hour. We in a time, like it said, like no other. Wow. And tore up again last month. Same part. See what I'm saying? And it's, you know what else? Do y'all think it's accountability? There's no accountability. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. I don't even know if there's a definition that can cover this around what we're talking about. There's no accountability in the world today. When they in trouble, that's it. And he don't be listening. He ain't paying no attention to her. He ain't listening. Years ago, y'all, people used to approach me and say, Miss Deborah, and I was young. Do you believe that they say God don't hear sinner prayers? Do you believe that? Because I don't know if y'all know this. There was a time when churches were teaching that, telling sinners that God don't hear their prayers. Oh, yeah, that was big time at one time. Telling people that God don't hear sinner prayers. And I used to tell people that's not so. Because we all have sinned and come short to the glory. We all continue to sin. So he don't hear none of us, huh? Okay? He don't hear none of us. But that was a big thing in the church years ago. And I'm talking every bit of 20 years or longer. Ooh, they were telling people, they were teaching that and preaching that God don't hear sinner prayers. And here who said it? The biggest sinner in the whole sanctuary, which is the pastor. But yet he's sitting here telling the congregation, God don't hear sinner prayers because he only wants you to think he only can hear him. Just like the Catholic. They want you to get behind this wall and tell your fault to a man. As if Yah said, I see you, and I knew you before you was in your mother's womb. I see you. I know your heart. I know your thoughts. But yet you don't flip it all that over to a flesh of a man and you gonna hide behind a wall and tell all your faults, thinking that man gonna deliver you. No, ain't nothing deliver you behind that wall, but that wall itself. That's your deliverance. You looking for a deliverance? It's gonna be that wall. Yeah, it is. And you know what? I used to say, I tell the Father, it's something wrong with that, and it's sad. I said the same thing. I used to say the same thing, but the Father said, it need be. And what he mean is all the ways that I can see that actually is taking place, these things need to be, because it's going according to only one will, it's his. That's what he said. Because I used to say it so much, oh, it's so sad, it's so sad. He said, don't, So you're saying that it's sad, and I'm in the heavens looking at it, allowing it to be what it need to be. So it can be sad down there, but it ain't sad up here. How about that? That's how he was. He's shooting to me. To pray for them. Yes, exactly. Exactly. That's the routine. They still teach that? Wow. Yeah, but that was back in the days. I don't know why. That was the one thing a lot of people ask me. And a lot of people always ask me, everywhere I work, people ask me, why is it people don't treat you like they treat us? Every job I've been on. Why they don't do you like they do us? I go in like I want to go out. And I don't care where I'm at. I'm going to be me. I'm not going in. You telling me what you're going to pay me. I'll tell you what I'm going to receive. I'm just, and it ain't me. There's got that to me, I believe Yah has been in me all that time, letting me walk in that way to get me to where he has me today. You ain't finna tell me what you gonna pay me. The pay, what you gonna pay. I tell you what I'm willing to accept. And if it's not what you're gonna pay me, then I'm out. I'm quick. And when they hire me, y'all, like I say, you all will never know who I am. Because when people hire me, they know they got the real deal. They know they got the real deal. They know they got the real deal. Because Sister Deborah throw down. And every job I work, I can do from in between 3 to 5 people's jobs. And I'm out and walk around like it ain't nothing. And these so silly kids and these elders, some of them ladies at my age, and Miss Deborah, how do you get down like that? I'm down in my locker. They got the lockers, and mine's is at the floor level. You know how they have the one on top of the other? And I'm down there, bent down, opening my locker, and they trying to figure out, even the young people, oh, Miss Deborah dropping it like it's hot. That's what the young people say. And the elderly people say, Miss Deborah, how you get down like that? Look, as long as y'all give you the strength and the ability to move about, move your darn tail about. You see, there's people who can't even move about and do. Why am I sitting here acting like I can't squat down or I can't stoop down? For what? But yeah, them people, I don't care where I go, they either laughing at something they see me do. And guess what, y'all? They think also, they know I don't, when I go into a workplace, I don't laugh, I don't joke, and I don't smile. When I move into a community, I don't do none of that. I don't want nobody to take me to be bent on what you see. You see? And that has helped me throughout my whole living. Even people say, well, Miss Deborah, you don't never smile. For what? What I'm smiling at you for? What I need to go around here smiling? You know what people don't? I'm gonna shut every last one of y'all down. You know why I don't go around here smiling? If y'all hadn't gave me the spirit of discerning to discern the spirit of an individual, maybe I would smile at somebody. How about that? How about that? Maybe I would smile at somebody. But when that spirit is able to discern people, you don't go around smiling and grinning. The spirit letting you discern this person, you sitting there and smiling. No, don't even talk to them. Why? Because you didn't discern their spirit already. You know who they are. You get a CEO come down, going off on the people, making them say they ain't doing a job, adding more work to them, writing them up. When they see me, they go the other way. You better go the other way. And that's why I say it's sad that people will come to this page and think Sister Deborah is just here to play with them. I ain't here to play with you. I'm on a mission from the Most High God. And it ain't a mission to play your game or to play with you. And I'm grateful for it. Yes, I am grateful for the mission. But like I told y'all earlier, he said, get in line with David and them. Because every time David keep telling me all this stuff, and I'm like, wait a minute. Hey, that's happening to me. That's the way I see it. That's the way I think it. And I'm like, oh, so David said, it happened to me too, David. Get in line. That's the line you need to be in. Don't be bringing yourself to the lower term of what I called you to be. Stay where you at and walk that thing out. Oh, I know it's going to be long suffering. I know it's going to be some endurance. I know it's going to be hurt and pain. But you walk that thing out because you ain't walking it alone. Something is greater in you than that which is in this world. So come on, we're going to walk this thing. So that's another reason why I don't grin and laugh, even to the communities and neighborhoods. None of that. I don't get. Don't come texting me talking about y'all having a community picnic. I don't go to that. For what? You ain't doing nothing but ripping each and every last one of us off. So crazy. Okay. Someone said they still teaching that. Okay. So let me tell you the next one was booming. Talking about the anniversary for the Holocaust. And I don't know if y'all seen all the commercials telling people to send money over there. People are doing it by great numbers. See, this is why I tell you, people don't care if they the fake ones or if they the real ones. It don't matter. Both of them cuckoo clock. So they don't care. And any time that this country is where it's at, is because of them. And the people in this country do not understand they're the ones that rules your country. And that's where your funds are going. Your system is there. They run your system. But the people in this country, they gone. It ain't no hope. It really isn't. It's no hope for them. Okay, so let's I needed to do that because I've seen it. I don't know if you all seen it all over the internet, all over the news, all doing commercials. Send this here. They want people to send. And one is supposed to be the anniversary of the Holocaust, and also what they got going on over there now. They send all over this United States. Send them some of your retirement and your pension or your whatever you getting. Send it to me. And you don't think people sending it? Yes, they are, like fools. That's why I said you would really be sick to continue to be that dumb. Okay, here we go. We finna rumble. We're gonna rumble. We're gonna rumble. We're going to Psalms 91 and verse 1. 91 and verse 1. Let's go there. 91. Psalms 91 and verse 1. I want to do this, and I'm so grateful that the Father has helped me out because I went into a deep study, and when I went into this deep study, that's how I found my verses. I was like, this is really neat. I like this. I really enjoyed what I was going through. And I said, well, okay, that should be a good thing to really talk about. Let's go to Psalms 91. But I got to express to you all what Psalms 91 is. I taught this twice out of all the times I've been on YouTube. I taught Psalms 91. And what I think is so sad, and it's really sad. Now, this is what another one of them forms of sadness. People think they can take Psalms 91 and apply it to their flesh. Psalms 91 is only for the spiritual seeds. Oh, Father, did I say it? Yes, you said it right. Psalms 91 is not for people. It's for the spiritual seeds. So everybody, you can run around here and collect 91 and, oh, I love Psalms 91. They can preach it, they can teach it, they can minister it, they can lie to you, they can use it as a form of deception. You go on and use it any way you want to. You the fool. You the straight up fool. Psalms 91 is not for everybody. It's for the spiritual seeds. And if I'm going to stand in the realm of the light, I got to tell it right. Okay? If I'm going to stand in the line of the spiritual seed in front of the light, I got to tell it right. Psalms 91 ain't for you. Okay? If you're not the spiritual seed. Okay? So let's go. Psalms 91 and verse 1. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of his Almighty. Who can check that? Who can answer that one? Come on. Bring it on. bring these verses to the light. Let's do that this evening. Let's bring these verses to the light. Psalms 91 and verse 1. It reads, let me read it again. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I love that. That right there. You know what? Let me say with this here. That first verse set the pace. Anybody come up, any pastor, bishop, priest, evangelist, prophet, prophetess, Maureen, seers, watchmen, they come up in Psalms 91, they're going to have to sit their tails down. Because the first verse, sit your tails down. Stop teaching these people this mess that this here is they can apply it and you're going to teach it to them. Sit your tails down. Right along, this verse is saying what? Anybody, if you got the, if it's in you, you know, just go on. If not, I'm going to bring it out anyway. Okay. The secret place is Yah's spirit. Okay. The secret place is Yah's spirit. Someone says the secret place is Yah's spirit. Anybody else? Something wrong? Something wrong? Oh, yeah. These are going to be basic questions. Okay? No, they ain't even called basic questions. They the answer. In Christ. Okay? Someone says, and he is the spiritual seed in Christ. All right? Someone says, your spirit abiding in Yah's spirit. Okay? Walking in the light. Okay? Notice something, y'all. When I first spoke on that, I'm wanting to I'm taking you all the way there. I don't know if you all read the title of this message, and it is to bring it into the light. That's what we're going to do tonight. I'm going to show you that even when you're off to yourself and you're studying, bring that bad boy to the light, especially if he gives you the ability to hear behind it. Bring that bad boy to the light. I can't even get past this one word. I can't even get past, oh, wait a minute, 2 words. Okay, so in Psalms 91, and guess what this does? Let me explain something. Let's say Sister Deborah had a church, and in her church, she had, let's say 500 members that's there, faithful members that's there, they come and attend. This is not a verse I would teach them. If I was a pastor, I wouldn't teach this to nobody. Because you're teaching it to the darkness. You see? You're teaching it to the darkness. So I wouldn't teach this. Why? Because I ain't got sense to come and reason with the flesh, to break this down in the realm of the flesh. I can only break this down in the realm of the spirit. You see what I'm saying? So what does it look like, me being the pastor, breaking this down in the realm of the spirit, and I got 500 members, and I don't know where they stand in the spirit realm. So I'll be just talking to a brick wall. You get what I'm saying? So just hear me out. When I see this, even though I know they smeared it and they added and they took away and they took certain things out of straw, they didn't. But I'm going to break this bad boy down. First word is he. 91, Psalms 91, it says he. Who that? Who that? And then what was powerful is dwelleth. He that dwelleth. It's talking about he that dwelleth. I can get past that right there alone. So is he talking about everybody in the sanctuary? If I'm in the church, is he telling everybody? That's what the people would take it. They would take it as if he's talking to everybody in the church. Oh, he's talking to me too. I know. Praise the Most High. God is good. They have no idea what Psalms 91 is saying. David's my brother. I know what he said. You see what I'm saying? Yes. He's talking to the spiritual seed. That what? That dwelleth. So you get what I'm saying? The reason why I was saying that you can't apply this to everybody. You got to know when you're teaching this, you're teaching it to you got to know that you're teaching it to the spiritual seed. So what my message today was about was bringing it out and bringing it into the light so people can understand. And let me tell y'all the reason why I'm so sick of everybody trying to teach Proverbs 91. Sit y'all tails down. He ain't talking to you, but they teach it. They make people believe that he's talking to them. He ain't talking to them. Now listen to this here. He that dwelleth in the secret place. Now he's talking about a secret place. He that dwelleth in the secret place. Notice that he dwelleth right there, y'all. So if I got 500 members and I'm in the church, what does that look like? Teaching them this without breaking it down. Are you all? Are you the one? Are you dwelling somewhere in the secret place? Can you stand up if you are dwelling? That's what I do. In this secret place, nobody will stand. They wouldn't stand. You might have one or two out of the 500, but they ain't stand. That's why I say that's how these pastors, these bishops, these priests, these popes, all of them get a large audience. It's because the lie is what people embrace. They ain't going to embrace the truth. And I have heard so many pastors lately, last year too, breaking this Psalms 91 down. Sit y'all lying tails down. It's talking about the spiritual seed. He that dwelleth in the secret place. And that secret place, how are you going to stand up if I say who's dwelling in the secret place? Nobody, my 500 member would even stand up. I might have 2 or 3 out of 500. The secret place, y'all, of the Most High. So now we got to find out what a secret place. Shall, not might, not sometime down the road, but might. It said shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. This is your spirit in the secret place of the Holy Spirit, which is the Ruach HaKodesh, the Spirit of Yah. It is your spirit. Let me show you. You see the word he that dwell? That's your spirit that dwells in Yah's spirit, which the world calls the Holy Spirit, which is still yet where am I at? The Ruach HaKodesh. That's the secret place, the Ruach HaKodesh. But you are the one. Your spirit is dwelling in him. You see why you can't go to a church and try to teach this? Because if you're going to teach the whole Psalms 91, you got to lie. You got to change. You got to tell them a lie about verse 1 to start it off with. Because he ain't talking to everybody. People sit and say, oh, I quote Psalms 91. I love Psalms 91. And guess what? Like I told y'all over and over and over, 99.9 don't know what the rest behind it said. This is how easy it is for people to live and die the lie. They're living and dying the lie. Because they settle for whatever their flesh is comfortable with, without spirit and truth in the light. So here we see that in Psalms 91, he that dwelleth, he's talking about your spirit. He ain't even talking about your flesh. He's talking about your spirit. And that's what you have to know. Because if you're going to dwell in the secret place, He's a spirit. So you would have to have your spirit dwelling in his spirit. So why are you telling these people when they don't even know they got a spirit? They running around here calling it a soul. You see how messed up it is? But they don't care. They'll teach the whole night, Psalms 91, and people be quoting it and reading it every day they living. Or in the morning, I quote that. At nighttime, I do this Psalms 91. Sit down. They do it without caring if they have truth. What did I speak about? Righteous. The feel of Psalm 91's righteous will, righteous purpose, righteous meaning. They don't care about that. They don't care if it's anything in that righteous. None of that don't mean to nothing to nobody in this day and time. That's what I was speaking of earlier when I was telling the Father during the Sabbath. People ain't into that. They don't care about righteous Father. Like as if he don't know that. He knew that before the foundation of the world. That where it's at is where it's gonna be. That's why he say, leave it alone, Deborah. Anything need be. Psalms 31 and 20. So when y'all hear people, and you will, talk about Psalms 91, make sure you bring them into the spirit of truth. Don't sit and think that it's okay to reason with somebody on Psalms 91. Let them know the truth, because the first verse tells you the whole overall. That tells you, put on brakes. If you don't know verse 1, it tells you to put your foot on brakes. We got to stop. We have to break this down, because this Psalms 91 is for a certain one. You get the point I'm saying? So let's go to Psalms 31. In Psalms 31. Okay. The secret place is the kingdom of the Most High Yah. No, the secret place is Yah spirit. No one can enter into the secret place of the kingdom as a secret place. No man. Did you know David, Moses, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, all the prophets, no servant of the Most High has entered into the kingdom. Okay. So the secret place would have to be in Yah, which is the Ruach HaKodesh. That's the secret place. He said he would abide in us and we in him, and we are one. We become one. That's the secret place. The kingdom is a place, but it's not the secret place. Yah himself is the secret place. So in Psalms 31 and verse 20, in Psalms 31 and verse 20, thou shalt hide them in the secret of thy presence from the pride of man. Thou shalt keep them secretly in the pavilion from the strife of tongues. Okay, here it is again, that secret place. He's letting you know he's going to hold you there in that secret place. And that secret place is in him. He's the Ruach HaKodesh, and here you are in here. That's the secret place. And no matter what goes on around you, in front of you, in the back of you, and every side, he still got you in that secret place. Okay, so here in Psalms 31 and verse 20, it speaks of, thou shalt hide them in the secret of thy presence from the pride of man. Thou shalt keep them secretly in the pavilion from the strife of tongues. And I can truly, as a living prophet, not a dead one, I can truly say that's where he has helped me. Remember, I was telling y'all earlier about how every job I've ever worked, and I worked in many places. Not no job that I've gone to that I was, as this is said, that I had to deal with pride, okay, or I had a pride individual, or strife of tongues. I told y'all that. I told y'all that earlier. Today is that every job I went to, people said, well, why don't they do you like that? They don't talk to you like that. The people have always asked, why is it people don't do you like that? I don't care if they are European or melanated. I don't care if they old or young. They always say that every job I've gone on. Why they ain't talking to you like that? They don't treat you like that, Miss Brown. That's how they always said me all my living. That's why that was another sign in my adult life living. I recognized that I had something in me that was protecting me, you guys. I knew I had something that was greater in me than me myself, because I was always protected. Now listen to what 20 says. Thou shalt hide them in the secret of thy presence from the pride of man. Thou shalt keep them secretly in the pavilion from the strife of the tongue. See, I just gave y'all an example, me myself. I told y'all throughout my whole living, that's how it has been. So I know this to be true, because he has kept me from all that. This is the reason why when I was saying that, I was trying to not say so much it was me, but it was he that's greater in me that had hid me from these things, to where I can never go and say, when this job did this to me, they did this, oh, they fired me. No. It was always when I walk in, I owned it. When I left, I owned it. What did I own? What I wanted to own when I was there. That was what I wanted to do, how I was going to do it, the way I was going to be treated, what you going to pay me. Why? Because there was always something in me that made me realize, no matter where you go, own that bad boy. Don't let them own you. You see what I'm saying? So I know that this here in Psalms 31 and verse 20 is 100% true, because that's how he has kept me. The Holy Spirit, yeah. Nope, I don't get entangled with the drama. But I never did, though, you guys. In the community that I have been in, and every workplace, and y'all, Sister Devin works some pretty good paying jobs. And not only that, I mean, places that y'all know Sister Deborah shouldn't have had her old tail. I wasn't old then, but I'm just still saying a female especially when I worked in the prison system. Out of the 300 applications, they hired me. You think I didn't know that was the Most High, y'all? Yeah. But did you think that them prisoners tried me or messed with me? When they walked in, they knew. Wait a minute, hold up. We ain't gonna try nothing on her. And then you had those that was in there say, you better not. If Miss Deborah said, you better do, I'm telling y'all. So I'm not going to sit here on this devil platform in this midnight wicked evil hour and make you think that he ain't been with me and he ain't all that answer, because you're going to be the liar. Because that's how good and excellent and wonderful and great and perfect that he is. He will keep you in perfect peace. And you got to understand what that peace is. All right. So, okay, let's go to the next one. And it is Proverbs 31 and verse 2. That's a good one, y'all. That's a good one. Proverbs 31. And what makes it a good one? I had to call my son over. He said, can I come at 9:30? I said, no, I don't know if you can come at 9. He said, I got to be somewhere at 10:30. I said, I'll tell you what. Instead of 9:30, I'll come at 9 o'clock. I'm not for all that. I'm not for all that. When the Spirit puts something on me, I'm not for chasing the ways of somebody else. So what did I do? He came over. And that's why I'm finna say to you all, let me see if y'all got it. I had to give it to him. I wanted to see if you all can get this. I want to see who's going to be able to grip this one. Okay. You see in Proverbs 31. Okay. I want you all to know Proverbs 31, people try to really apply it to the realm of a female, and that's not what it's about. This realm is spiritual as well. Okay, so I'm going to have to take you there and drop your butt off right there. Okay, because this is speaking of a spiritual realm. This ain't speaking of a natural realm. First and foremost, this king that that is being spoken to is not even in your study guide. Okay, so you have to understand. You remember how I showed you in Genesis chapter 49 how Jacob called his sons and told them to come unto me so I can tell you what is going to bestow you in the last days, and they didn't come. How did you know they didn't come? Because I heard y'all charging them. Get your butt on in there and see what Jacob has to say. You sons of Israel. That's what he said. He had to charge them. So this is another kind of Psalms 31. We're going to see behind seeing some things, and I want to just kind of show you what I'm looking at, and then I'm going to drop verse 2 on you and see if you can figure it out. Okay. Proverbs 31. The words, of King Lemuel. I'm going to call him Lemuel. Okay. The prophecy that his mother taught him. The prophecy that his mother taught him. First and foremost, you don't know who his mother is. Matter of fact, you really don't know who he is because he really don't exist. One way of knowing it, you notice that in the beginning it says the words of king. Notice the king is lowercase. Okay. Notice that the king is not really a king. Because if he was a king, it would have been uppercase, and his presence would have been a king. But he wasn't a king, but they were showing you what his mother have said to him. Okay. So I want you to understand this is a spiritual thing trying to speak to you all from a different realm, and you ain't going to get it, but you will get it. We're going to break it down. So he's talking about the prophecy. Now, who in the live chat knows what a prophecy is? Who in the live chat knows what a prophecy is? Anybody? Can you tell me what is a prophecy? Anybody? What is a prophecy? Now we have a said to be king, which is not a king that's present. And now it's saying the prophecy that his mother taught him. We don't know who his mother is, and we don't know who he is because really they don't exist. Okay. But what is a prophecy? Let's see. Something that already happened in the spirit. Already are going to. A prophecy. And maybe we need to see it in the realm of a Hebrew. Because all the prophecies that was left here for us was for the future and not so much as the past. The future event, okay? Okay, exactly. It's a future event, but it's also a spiritual one. Okay, look it up in Hebrew. It'll show you. It won't even show you. It'll show you that it is a spiritual, divine word. Okay, that is spoken. Okay, so this lady is saying to this young man, which is said, he taught her, and by them saying mother, that lets me know that it was him. It was a he that she was speaking to, but she was his mother. Okay. Now, listen to this. Anybody can answer verse 2 if you can. What, my son, and what the son of my womb, and what the son of my vows. What is she trying to stress in this verse 2? What is she saying here in verse 2? Anyone? Okay, someone says something that is to come. Okay. And it's right. And it must come to pass. Okay. Yes. So she's telling her son this, even though he don't exist, nor do she. That's the main thing you have to grip. So some Proverbs is being spoken, and it says the price of a virtuous woman. Okay. I want you to understand, you hear many ignorant women trying to teach a virtuous woman. I said to the Most High, and I wasn't ashamed that anybody come close to a virtuous woman, it would have been me. But I myself cannot line myself up with Proverbs 31 because too much spiritual is intact to it. It's like all up in it for me to embrace it like it's speaking to me impartial. You see? So when you hear what my son and what the son of my womb and what the son of my vows. This person is real, not person, but this is stressing something. Okay, someone said the prophecy is a future event from Yah. 1, you hear it. 2, you feel it. Okay. 3, you see it come to pass. Okay, good. Okay. So when but have we ever thought to look up prophecy in Hebrew? See, that's the true prophecy, is when you're able to seek prophecy in Hebrew. Okay. And then one said, listen. So that's when you say in verse 2, it's putting that question mark. And it's almost like a point being made. And you're right. You can actually detach. Listen to that. Yes. So she's first trying to say, she's speaking to the realm of, what's the mystery in that? What's the mystery in verse 2? That's why you know that they messed up when they try to do this. What's the realm? What realm is she speaking of in verse 2? Anybody know? Anybody? Okay, someone says the spiritual realm. Someone says flesh. You are right. It's the flesh. 100% the flesh. Why? Because it's speaking of my son. My son, that's flesh. And what? The son of my womb, my womb is flesh. And what? The son of my vows, meaning her wedding vows, which is also flesh. So she's speaking in the realm of the flesh, wanting to know you to know that here it is. She's teaching, she's giving him this prophecy that she has taught him, but she's letting him know also that she's coming from the realm of the flesh. But watch this here. Watch this here. Verse 3. This is what's going to get you. This is what's going to get you. Verse 3. Give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyed kings. You see that kings? You still see it lowercase. Okay, you still see kings lowercase. Okay, so even the king would be still considered flesh. Okay, we know the kings ain't considered spiritual, but you see the lowercase. So it was her saying, nor thy ways to that which destroy flesh. Now, in verse 3, what is she saying? Verse 3, give not thy strength unto a woman, nor thy ways to that which destroy kings. What does she mean when she say, give thy strength unto women? What does that mean? Do anybody know? This is why I say that Proverbs 31, if you keep and continue to read it, you'll see it stepping really in the spirit realm. But it starts off so confusing, and it's almost like they really kind of smeared it up, thinking no one will really get in it and get the truth of it. Okay. But when you see verse 3, give not thy strength unto woman, nor thy ways to that which destroy kings. Anybody? Okay, there's a power punch there. First and foremost, when I see prophecies, I know it's connected to what is to come. And I believe that it's something divine message that she's also giving him. Okay, someone said they don't know. Okay, look at the strength unto a woman. We know, let me see. Someone says the arm of the flesh will fail. Okay. Let me, I'm gonna just break it down like I had to break it down to my son. The reason why I was so I used to apply as me, telling him. But when we got into verse 3, I asked him, do you know what is this? Okay. Do you know it said, give not thy strength unto women? Let me explain. Now, this is the reason why the world is in the condition that it's in. Because we have our men that just never was able, since they stole the identity of woman from the beginning in Genesis, they still are paying the price of their wicked and evil in this day and time. When you go into war and you go into wickedness, you go into the digital, you go into the system, you go into the wicked and evil system that's ruling this world, guess what you're going to see? Men. Okay. And this is a situation that is not going to flip over and get right. That's why y'all got to step on the scene. And when he stepped on the scene, because people refuse to see him coming with a wrath of his mighty right hand, they're going to have it coming. Because what they did not understand, that the wrath of Yah is coming for you. Okay? And what makes him come? When you took away what the creation and order in which I created. And also, you don't understand the simple things of the Ruach HaKodesh that lives in you. Now, listen to this. All it's saying, you guys, give not thy strength. Now, what we have to understand, if Solomon is speaking this, the strength of what Solomon is speaking of is spirit. He's telling them, do not give a woman your spiritual self. Like they do with other gods. They serve other gods with their spirit. She's telling him, don't turn your spiritual being over to a woman. Because your fleshly, y'all, come on, think. Your fleshly strength, you can't give to a woman. It's only two. It's only two, people. If it's not the first one, you think a man can actually take his physical strength and give it to women? No. It's speaking of his spiritual strength. How can a man give a woman his spiritual strength? When he turn over all that Yah has invested in him and what he represent in Yah, and give it over to her to rule. See, this is the place man has never been able to come back to, because he thinks the strength is between his legs. You see, he thinks the strength is between his hands and his arms. But there's a greater strength that's greater than the strength that you think you got between your legs, because that ain't got no strength in it either. The greater strength is your spirit. That's your real strength. And what he's saying is, don't give your spiritual being over to women. Don't give it to them. Because they'll have you doing all kind of stuff that's displeasing to the Father. Your spiritual strength is supposed to be to Yah, and Yah to you, and y'all become one. But if you turn it over because you're so in love, you're so overwhelmed, and you figure you want many wives, and you want this, and you want that, you're turning your strength, your spiritual man, over to women. So this right here is saying, give not thy strength unto women. Anybody in their life, do you think your physical strength can be turned over to a woman? Maybe somebody can answer that. Can your physical strength be turned over and given to a woman? I wonder, that's an easy question. Can your physical strength be turned over to a woman? It might, if you all say it, just break it down. Not break it down, say what it is. And that's what he's talking about. Because people keep forgetting, Yah has no detachment or no dealings with your flesh. So Solomon telling you it's your fleshly strength that you give to a woman. A man give his fleshly strength to a woman in many ways. But you can't give the strength of your flesh to a woman. The strength of your flesh. He's speaking of your spirit. Okay, someone says, it's saying don't give your attention to women. Okay, don't give your what? Attention to women. Okay. Okay. Yes, it's life force. There's something right there. Nope. If you can give your spiritual strength to a woman, then there is nothing left for Yah. Exactly. And that's why, let me read that again. If you give your spiritual strength to a woman, then there is nothing left for Yah. Exactly. So why would Yah be concerned about you giving your natural strength to a woman when all he wants is your spiritual? You see, he's letting you know, if you give her that, do you all understand? I'm gonna show y'all something. Do you know that the reason why people are not and will not and shall not follow the Most High Yah is because they've turned their whole self, flesh, and spirit over to another God? You get what I'm saying? If you can turn your flesh over to another God, but not your spirit, then you would think that you would have another chance. No, When your flesh serves another God, it's because your spirit is in on serving another God. So they come hand in hand. You see what I'm saying? So it's your spirit, okay, that holds who you really are. So are you down here to be the serpent seed or the spiritual seed? Are you down here to represent the Most High Yah? Or are you down here to represent Satan? It determines in your spirit, and it rolls out in your flesh. Your actions of it that's in your spirit rolls out into your flesh. Always understand you have to see the spirit first and foremost. And here, give not thy strength unto a woman, nor thy ways to that which destroys kings. Why? Because once you give that strength over, she's going to also be controlling your ways. So he's just letting you know, understand, your strength is what Yah is saying. Your spirit man is all that I commune with. Yah only commune with your spirit. And if you thinking that this is speaking of the flesh, she's not telling him nothing. She's not helping him, because he can't, he might not be able to control that flesh in the way that she's teaching it to him, but she's teaching it to him in a spiritual way. But you hear it in verse 1, she's speaking as the flesh. But then you get to verse 3, give not your strength. And if you think in the flesh what strength is, you see what I'm saying? A woman can't, a man can't give a woman his strength. You see what I'm saying? You can't give a woman your strength. But it says here, nor the ways that which destroy kings. Because what happens is, once she got your spirit, she can destroy you. See, she can't destroy you because she got your flesh, y'all. That's the ignorance also of males on the earth, period. They have no idea. A woman can't destroy you because she got your flesh. And you can't destroy her because you think you got her flesh. You're not destroyed until you destroy it in the spirit. You understand what I'm saying? You always would have a chance. If you destroy it in the flesh, you would always have a chance in the spirit. You got to be destroyed from the spirit to the flesh, not from the flesh to the spirit. That's why I was telling y'all the other day about mental illness. Okay? As long as it can come after your flesh and bring you into stress, you stressed out, anxiety. But when it comes into depress, now it's coming after it. It got victory in your flesh, and it's coming after your spirit. That's what depressed do. That's why it's hard for people to get out of it. And they don't want out of it. Because if the light come to tell you that's what it is, and you're going through that, the first thing you should say, I got the best pill going. What she just said. Because that's exactly what it is. David had stress. That's for the flesh. But when it began to go after the spirit, it's pretty much over for many people. You see? Anything that comes after that spirit, because the whole idea of depression is to come after the spirit of a man. Because you figure, I got victory in the flesh, I'm going after the spirit now. Can you defeat it? Sure you can. But most people take medication and figure the doctor knows and this, and they don't want to turn to the one that say, hold up, you ain't going this route. Get on out the way. See, they don't want the one that can stop it. They want the one that can feed it medication, pharmaceutical, so they can categorize themselves. And now they're paying people to say they have depression, and the people, once you claim it and you name it, that's yours for forever. You see, and that's what they paying them disability for that now. I don't know if you all know that or not. Samson, yeah. The woman that she did now with that situation was he gave her his strength. But see, what y'all didn't understand about that. Let's go back to Samson. You notice he had the strength, okay? And it was resting in his head, right? In his hair. It was said in his hair was the strength, right? But this is why I say people will not give the Father the glory, because if you think about it, his hair couldn't have been the strength of his arm and his might. When we look at Samson, we also have to know that he had a secret strength. Okay? But when he allowed her to come in and tap into his secret strength, which was, he told her it was his hair, he weakened to her. But his hair did not grow back for him to have the strength that God gave him. He prayed that he would give him that strength. Did his hair grow back for him to get the strength? See, the strength was always spiritual. It was never in his hair. Because after it was over and said and done, and he wanted to destroy the place, he prayed to the Father to what? To bring back that strength. That's the same strength he always had. But he gave her his spirit. The strength of his spirit. That's the mystery, y'all. Go to Revelation chapter 10 and verse 7. It tells you. Go to Daniel, where he told him, shut the things down. My servants will bring the mystery. We've been teaching it the way we read it and not so much understand what Samson was really doing. He fell and gave her his strength. And the way we understand it, it was in his hair. But if you really want to know where his strength was, it was spiritual all the time. His spiritual being, he sold it over to her. Because once she cut off his hair, he sold his spirit over to her. She had his hair cut off. She had his hair cut off. And now he don't have the strength because he don't have the spirit that he once had. He let her in on his spiritual strength. We know her can't give you strength. I'm just trying to get y'all to get you to go in the proper area of spirit and truth. We know her is not nobody's strength. But he had more than just his hair. His hair grew. And he was mighty and strong. Did not he destroy that place with that same strength? And he didn't have no hair? He asked the Father to restore his strength. But he did it under his repentance, because he let her in to his secret between him and Yah. He broke so much, it's a covenant between him and Yah. And he lost his real strength. And that's why you can say, okay, but didn't he pray to the Father to restore his strength so he can destroy them? Yes, he did. that shows you that the strength wasn't her. It was always Yah. People wake up. Like I tell people about David killing the giant. It was never the rock that he had, and it was never his slingshot. But you let the flesh of man teach this thing, they'll lay it out. So David get all kind of glory. And then I turn around, somebody as stupid as I am, I turn around and say, hey, hold up, David. Why is the whole book of Psalms crying and whining for y'all to fight your battles? Didn't you kill that giant with that rock, David? But why is the whole book of Psalms you hooping and hollering and crying out to the Father to help you, to destroy your enemy, to fight this, to kill this? And if they keep doing this, kill them, Father. Wait, hold up. Wasn't you the one that killed the giant with the slingshot? See, this is why I say to you all, we misunderstood everything Yah created and the reason and the purpose. If we would just look back, even at Samson, and give him the glory. Because what happened is Samson went back crying to who? The one who was his strength. You see? And he destroyed the place with no hair. He didn't. So if his hair was really the real strength, how did he destroy everything without it? See, I'm just the individual that just believe that Yah is all that and something. And I think if anybody needs to get the glory, he gets it, and then Samson. He gets it, and then Samson. You see, because the strength is spiritual, then natural. And I think he had a covenant with the Father that this is secret. And I think he wanted her so much that he threw his hands up and gave up Yah for her. And he told her that his strength was his hair. We know, step into reality, your hair can't be your strength. But if Yah in the midst of your hair and your strength, then that's where your strength really is in Yah. But when she chopped off the hair, she would thought she had you. But see, the one that had you from the beginning picked you right back up and let you know. He had to cry out to him, and he gave him and restored the same strength he had with no hair. With no hair. That's what they're not going to teach that, because they insist that if we're going to teach, let's give man the glory. And I have an issue with that. I think we need to learn to give all the glory to the Most High Yah. If we have anything left, we shoot man a little something. But we got to give it the glory to he that entitled to it, because we've been seeing too much flesh of man and what's going on in the world today. And if you say anything good is going on, you the fool. Okay? So this is why we don't have nothing good going on, because we've forsaken the only good thing that we got going on. And that's the Most High. Ain't nothing else left. When you go to Genesis chapter 6, in Genesis chapter 6 and verse 13, in Genesis chapter 6 and verse 13, it reads, and Yah said unto Noah, the end of all flesh is come before me, for the earth is filled with violence throughout them. What is he saying here? Oh, throughout them. And behold, I will destroy them with the earth. Anybody understand that? Or anybody can speak on that? Genesis chapter 6 and verse 13. And Yah said unto Noah, the end of all flesh is come before me, for the earth is filled with violence throughout them. And behold, I will destroy them with the earth. Now, this is what's going on. I don't know if y'all been hearing how they're doing some search and they found things that's under the ocean and towns and cities and all the things that's still under the ocean. And they're saying that these are things that were left from the flood. And they're finding all kinds of things. Okay. When you look at Genesis chapter 6 and verse 13, and Yah said unto Noah, the end of all flesh is come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them. And behold, I will destroy them with the earth. So what do you think about that verse? That verse alone. Oh yeah. I know he yep. They plucked his eyes out. Just imagine, this was a woman he just knew. He just gave her his all in all, his whole flesh. And then what happened? Yah took the gift that he gave him away from him. Yah took the gift that he gave him away from him. Now saying, now how you like that? And yes, they took his eyes out. They cut his hair, they took his eyes out. I think so. I think his hair was a sign of a covenant, because he didn't have no hair when he destroyed it. Y'all let him gain back. Why? Because he went into repentance and he realized he wronged Yah. Did y'all know he was willing to die? Because he felt the guilt of how he wronged Yah. Because I always wonder, why would he want to destroy the people and die at the same time? Because he feel he didn't have nothing to live for, because he wronged Yah. Yah, it gave him that strength and blessed him with it, and he turned around and gave it over to a woman. Okay? Meaning gave his spiritual covenant to a woman and let her think that she had power over him. But you see, without any hair, she thought she took his eyes out, cut his hair where he thought and she thought they had his strength. But what strength did he have? Yah exceeded his, would not exceed, Yah enhanced his power to destroy the whole place. That's how much power he had. He gave him just that much power to destroy the whole place and himself. His mother did? Really? Oh wow. See, I didn't know that. But that's basically what it is. So when you get to Proverbs 31, that strength she's actually telling him is going to save him, because that's the type of strength that's between you and the Father. But when you give that woman that strength, it's over for you. It's over. And she's telling him, as in a prophecy. That's why I said the prophecy. Look, bro, let me tell you, she can ruin you. You give her that strength, because Yah is our strength. Am I right? In a time of need and our everything, we know that ain't nothing in our flesh is our strength. Yah is our strength. What did he say? We can do all things through what? Yah, who what? Strengthen us. So you see, we so busy giving the strength to the might of our hands and a strength of our flesh to where we fail to realize there's another strength that nobody has been talking about. Nobody has spoken about. It's the same thing I said the other day about David killing Goliath. Stop being stupid, people. Know that the strength that David killed Goliath was Yah's strength. That wasn't his. When we see it like that, Yah allow us to see the whole role of David and how he was going to use him, But we have to see what role did the Creator play in any and everything, even in your own life, in your own living. You have to look at yourself and say, what role do he play in me, in my living? People don't want to do that. They think they all let in something. Oh, he don't play no role in my life. I got my own. This is my life. Nobody tell me what. You see, this is why I was saying earlier, it ain't no righteous on the earth. No one cares about righteous, and no one cares about the Most High Yah and who he is, who he stood for, and who he was, more so than anything. They don't care. Genesis chapter 13. Okay, I'm sorry. Genesis chapter 13 is like unto today. Exactly. You're right. I would agree with that. I would definitely agree with that. But you wouldn't be able to get them to preach and teach it. They ain't gonna tell that. These people are these 401c SC or whatever. And these people are in the system. They are part of the system. That's why Satan was able to deceive the whole world. It's through all these churches and these places of worship and these places of synagogue and these temples. That's why you got them on every corner of a community. You see what I'm saying? And you see when that little pandemic with COVID came, all of them shut down because they all was together from the beginning. That's why they all shut down. They were always together. And a lot of them didn't reopen. They used the internet. They used YouTube and the platform to now conduct their ministry. And now they don't have to be in front of people. A lot of them didn't reopen. Buildings is still standing up. Nobody never recognized how all these Roman Catholic buildings, big, gigantic places just sitting there for years and years and years and years, and ain't nobody touch it because y'all don't know who the power of this world is. Oh, Samson, his mother had already got on him about it. You see that? That was the warning then, wasn't it? That was the warning. The violence. Oh, yes. Okay, then. I said it wrong, probably. 501c3. Okay, then. Thanks. Yeah, that's what a lot of them that signed up. That's why when one thing happened on this earth, let's say they covered up the sun and it don't be a day where you have sun. You know what? All of these churches, they ain't gonna offer nothing. They won't even offer food to needy people, homeless. They won't offer nothing. All these churches that's on every corner, they should have had a shelter for the homeless in every city, in every community. They won't have nothing. But this is the type of this is people. That's what people worship. That's what people turn to. Is the church, the buildings, because it's a flesh thing. That's why they turn into it. But here in Genesis chapter 6 and verse 13, and Yah said unto Noah, the end of all flesh is come before me. I got scared when I read that. Anybody? I got kind of scared when I read that. I said, wait a minute now, Father Yah, what's going on around there? Father Yah, do y'all see what that says? And Yah said unto Noah, the end of all flesh is come before me. Oh, it's a corporation. Okay. That's why all of them sign up for it. Okay. So they can rob people and not pay taxes and rob the people in the, you see what I'm saying? You see how the system, we look at the system only as the elites, but you don't even understand how many people, even on YouTube, have signed over to they're living in that same system. Even when they signed up for AI, I see this man called 19 Keys. He's a fool, and he's a live a fool and die fool. But it remind me of Farrakhan. Y'all, Farrakhan was a joke. Him and the one he come from, Muhammad or whatever his name, they are all jokes. They were made by the elites. Yes, I don't care what he teach and what he preach. It was no way they would have survived. It's no way they would have survived. They survived because they're really in there. Just like Gino Jennings, same way. These people that sold over. And they playing on earth they playing it for all it's worth. And the fools following right behind them, which I see what the Father is saying. These things need be. These things need be. I heard someone teaching about under the ocean, how the cities that's under there and the different things that's under the ocean, and how the Freemasons is over the underground oceans and stuff like that. They are the ones that deal with the other entities, which are the giants, as they say, that's under the ocean. I heard a man talk about, he went over to Mexico to the Cortez over there, and they got giants over there, but they were blending in with the trees, and he thought he was losing it. He was over there trying to fight child sex trafficking. And he said that he went up on his highest hill where these people be praying, and they be praying to the Father. And also they were praying. He looked up and he just peeping as they were praying. And he looked over there into the fields because he was up on a mountain. They go up on the mountain. He saw the giants, and he said he couldn't believe it. He said he said he just could not believe they got giants over there. So I believe that there's more things than we can even imagine. Okay, I believe that there are things that's realer than real, and I believe y'all gonna allow it all to be a part of what is to come. And this is going to really tell who's who and what's what. That's why I said, if you think you're scared now, you think you're afraid now, you ain't seen nothing yet. And that's my main thing when I get on this devil platform, telling people that you ain't seen nothing yet. you ain't seen nothing yet. Because I do know that I'm gonna tell you, like I think I told y'all before, when I was a little girl, I didn't think like normal people would think. I thought that there was other entities. I didn't think like, okay, it was just humans. You know, I always thought that there was things underground. I always thought that there was things in space. I always creatures and monsters and beasts. I always thought that, y'all. I never understood why, but I always thought that. And I try not to apply it to my messages today. But when people are talking about, when I hear people saying certain things, and I've been thinking, wait a minute. So is it possible, Father, that all that time I was thinking that when I was a little girl, that stuff is real? See, I thought the reason why the Yah was dealing with me to bring me to the level of where I'm at today. But for him to have given me that stuff way back, y'all, come on now. You see, as a young girl, little girl, you know, and to know that now you hear people saying certain things. So when you get to Genesis chapter 6 and you see verse 13, what do you think about? Let me see if somebody said, yeah. Just like today. So the corrupt and balance just like today. So the end of all flesh is come before Yah today also. Oh, yep. Yep. They think they're going to hide from. Oh yeah, without a doubt. They think they got it made. They and you know what? Not only that, they think they're going to hide. They think they're going to defeat something. Because guess what? You want to why do they think that they're going to hide? Let me why are you afraid of Psalms 91? Why are you afraid of Psalms 91? No, I'm not afraid of Psalms 91. I'm afraid of Genesis chapter 6 and verse 13. I'm afraid of that because that's saying something there that don't, to me, in my spirit, it just don't settle. Because it says, Yah said unto Noah, the end of all flesh. See, things was something before it was flesh. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Said flesh is to come before, have come before me. So he said flesh. What's going on with the spirit? You see what I'm saying? For the earth is filled with violence through them, and behold, I will destroy them with the earth. It still seems like he's talking about flesh, but what's the deal with the spirit? It's just something about that that's scary to me, because it did not have to say flesh. It could have just said, and Yah said to Noah that all living things have come unto me or before me. But he said flesh. And we know a man is not just flesh. He's spirit too. You see, that's scary to me. Yeah, that's the part. Now, Psalms 91, I love Psalms 91 because it tells you off the rip that, hey, he's talking to the spiritual ones. But here in Genesis chapter 6 and verse 13, that there, only thing I can hear in that is flesh. And man is not just flesh. He even said it in Genesis chapter 6. Man is not just spirit, but he's flesh. Or he's not flesh, but he's spirit as well. So I'm trying to, okay, let me go there. Right here, he said, watch this here. In Genesis chapter 6, okay? And Yah said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh. You see? His spirit is not going to always strive with him. Why? Because his spirit would strive with them, with their spirit. But he said that's not going to be so. So, because they also flesh. So here he said he's ending the flesh. And I'm wondering the deal with the spirits. You see what I'm saying? Whatever happened to those spirits? Are they all asleep or what? I know that's kind of, because I haven't gotten any understanding in it. That's why I'm talking. Yes, it was. I don't know. Yep, it keeps saying flesh. So I'm like saying, so all this stuff they keep saying that's under the sea and under these mermaids and all these different things, could it really be? Do y'all know the Antarctic? That ain't being kept frozen. I think, what's his name? The LEV, the Levi, whatever that monster is, supposed to be in there. I believe, now this is me. I believe there's a whole world underneath us. I really believe that without a doubt. Without a doubt. And from what, if you do your study, you'll see they've been building on it longer than a year. So right now, you know it's mastered. Those that don't have Yah's spirit. Okay. Right. Those that don't have Yah's spirit. Exactly. Is it because their flesh ruled over their spirit? Because the spirit is the one that's already decided from the kingdom. It was first. So the spirit was already decided. Oh yes, they said he put what's that? Come on, somebody help me out. There it is. I can't even pronounce it. Live thing, whatever that thing is. I heard that it's there. Because my son come ask me about it. I said, if David says there, it's there. Because he was asking David, see if you can throw your hook and see if you can hook it up. That's what Psalms was saying. See if you can pull them up. You ain't gonna be able to pull them up. He was telling David that. So it is something else that he has there. And he has it for a reason, people. Because there's other things. I remember my son and my daughter always ask me, why every time you go over the Mississippi River bridge, you always say you can feel it. I can. I don't know if y'all can. I can feel in the water. I don't care where I go. Over a bridge where there's Mississippi or, ocean or San Francisco Bay, all of that, child, you go over and it's almost like the spirits are crying out to you. I can't wait to get to the other side because it's a feel that comes with it. It really is. I'm serious. But that has been all my living when I go across. That's why at one time, I hate going across bridge with water, any kind. But now it doesn't bother me as it used to. But yeah, it's so much stuff in that water, y'all. Y'all just don't know. It's things going on down. You experience that too? My kids, she said, Mama can't cross the bridge because she gonna have that feeling. And I'm telling you something, it never fails. But I'm not as afraid as I was. Okay. I don't think the spirit is settled when they go into water like that. I think that's another reason. So when he's saying flesh, I'm thinking, okay, but the spirit got left in the water. Wait a minute, what's going on with that? You know how the demons was asking Yeshua if he won't destroy them before the appointed time, if he would let them go into the pigs. And what did the pigs do? The pigs went into the water and drowned. So you think those spirits drowned? No, they didn't. Those spirits did not drown. Oh, wow. Yeah. It's really scary. And it's almost connected to seeing it, isn't it? Because if you don't see it, it's like you don't know that you have to connect seeing with even that feeling. You know what I'm saying? You see it and you can feel it along with seeing when you're crossing it. So that's about the smartest thing is to cover your face so you won't see it. Because if you don't see it, you don't know you're crossing it. You see? But I think somebody did have me to cover, and I think I still felt it. I think I did. It was the idea of knowing that I was going across it. But my thing, when I had the store over in Illinois, I would have to cross the Mississippi Bridge. And every time I crossed it, I had this feeling to where my kids already know that every time I cross it, and they asked me, well, what is it? I say, I think it's a spiritual thing. I think there's a lot of spirits that is still in that water down beneath. I really do. That's just me. So that's what I was speaking of. I'm gonna go one more, and I want to just try let's do Matthew's chapter 6 and verse 6. Let's see what is said in Matthew's chapter 6 verse 6. What is really being said here? Matthew chapter 6 and verse 6. See if you all can tell me what you think. But when thou prayest, enter into thy closet. And when thou hast shut the door, pray to the Father, which is in secret. And the Father, which seeth in secret, shall reward thee openly. That's a really good one. I like that one. It says, Matthew chapter 6 and verse 6, it reads, but when thou prayest, enter into the closet. And when thou hast shut thy door, pray to the Father, which is in secret. And thy Father, which seeth in secret, shall reward thee openly. I don't know if y'all can see all that up in there. See if you can understand that. Hopefully you won't drive. Hopefully you weren't driving. You ought to quit. Because you got a face covered. You ought to quit. Because you got a face covered. So you say, hopefully you ain't driving. Okay. That's a good one. Okay. So in Matthew's, our last verse, I got many others, but I want to stop here. Matthew chapter 6 and verse 6. But when thou prayest, enter into thy closet. Anybody know what that means? That's a good one. Your spirit inside of Yah. It's your spirit, but it's not. He wants you to enter in. See what it says, verse 6. But when thou prayest, enter into thy closet. Thy closet. And thy closet is your spirit. Okay? Your spirit is going to enter into the closet of the spirit realm. Okay? But when thou prayest, enter, it's letting you know to enter into the closet. And when thou hast shut the door, okay? So now you're shutting the door off to the world. Your spirit, and y'all, I don't know if y'all ever did it, but I do it all the time. It's such an awesome feeling. Y'all, it'll take you to a realm of the Most High, y'all, you ain't never been. When you're able to shut your flesh off from your spirit realm. Now you're entering into the closet. Okay. And it says, and when thou hast shut thy door, who are you shutting the door on? Your flesh. It's not allowed. And I know y'all think y'all can communicate with the Most High, y'all, and you can deal with y'all at the level of what you think. No, you can't, baby. That's why I say, I think at the beginning, I would tell you, people used to ask me, well, Miss Deborah, is it really true? Is it really true that the Most High don't hear sinner prayers? That's what the pastor and them used to teach people back in the days, y'all. Stupid stuff like that. They teach him that because he don't hear their prayers. That's why the pastor telling them, because he don't hear their prayers. So they teach it to the people, but this is the same. This is it's what I'm bringing this one in to show you how we can miss it totally. And a lot of us have. That's why we don't have that personal, spiritual, that caring and that compassion and that comfort and that joy and that peace that he said passes all understanding when you got him in you, because we have settled for the fake one and we are content with it. Look at verse 6. Matthew chapter 6 and verse 6. But when thou prayest, enter into thy closet, your spirit. When you're going in, you have to prepare your spirit. Okay? You have to. Did you know if you go in and you don't prepare that spirit, that flesh going to be all over you? Let me tell y'all. Let me give you an example. Say, for instance, I'm going in to prayer. My flesh should ask me, how long you going to be down there? You want a pillow for your knees? Your knees going to hurt if you be down there long. Do you want the light on or you want the light off? Your flesh is always trying to get its part in it. That's why he says, enter into thy closet. And when thou hast shut the door, you shut the door on who? Your flesh. Shut the door on that bad boy. Because you think you're going to enter into the closet. You ain't getting in. Sit your butt on the outside until I come out. That's how you have to talk to your flesh. Why? Because your flesh is your worst enemy. It's going to be your worst enemy till you dead. It don't want no good for you. I know you done told yourself your flesh is all that and something, but baby, your flesh ain't never want no good for you. Why? And you, to me, it makes sense that the flesh don't want no good for you, because he said your flesh is saying, well, forget that. I'm going 6 foot under back to the earth, and the worms are ready for me. It's waiting for me. But then your spirit goes elsewhere. So I ain't finna sit here and reason with your spirit. That's why your flesh is your worst enemy. And that's why he never told you, will never see anything in your study guide telling you Satan is your worst enemy. And I don't know why nobody would preach and teach that. Why nobody don't reveal that. So what's going on? You? Because he put trust in you. I mean, he put truth in you. He gave you his image. He gave you his breath. So what have you done in return to appreciate all that he has invested in you? See? I ain't giving him nothing. This is my life. I live the way I want. I don't have to do nothing. You see? That's that flesh. Your worstest enemy. Your own flesh. It keep you from having a relationship, a one-on-one relationship with the Most High Yah. So right here when it says, and shut the door, shut thy door, your flesh, shut your mouth. You ain't got no business going in your closet with your flesh running its mouth. Because when you get in that closet, your spirit get in there, and you're in there with the Most High Yah. Watch this here. It's time for the flesh to be totally out the way. The spirit would talk straight through the mouth, and your own brain won't be able to comprehend nothing your mouth said. I know it. Y'all know nothing about that. See, they ain't gonna preach and teach that in no sanctuary, in no temple, in no church, and they definitely ain't gonna preach it on this devil platform. I done got 3 messages since I brought that up already. It's here for review. This message is here for review. See, they don't want you. See, this is the hurtingest part. For me being on the devil platform, this is the most hurting part, is how do the devil and the elites and let's say the system, the world, know that you're talking something, but the people that you come to give the food to every day has no idea. You see, to me, that's some sick mess. And they sitting here telling me my video is here for review. So what? You here for a review too. Y'all gonna review your tail. How about that? His name is the Most High Yah. He's the I am that I am, Ahaya. Okay, he gonna review your tail. Review that. So it says here, go into the closet, and when thou hast shut the door, that means shut the door on your flesh, pray to the Father which is in secret. In secret. It says, pray to the Father which is in secret. He's that secret place. So that's why when I said your closet, it says thy closet. I mean your spirit. Thy closet is going in, enter into thy closet, meaning your spirit. Yah is the secret place. Okay? And pray to the Father which is the secret place, that what? That thy closet is going in, you're going into, your closet is in you, your inner man is going into the secret place of Yah. You get what I'm saying? And the closing the door is leave your flesh out. And I know 99.9 do not know how to pray, because the true dedicated connection to the Most High Yah in prayer is spiritual. So you can get on your knees and hoop and holler and cry and throw your hands up and play the whole role all you want. This is the real deal. This is true prayer. Okay? And then it says, which is in secret, and the Father which see it in secret. Because you're entering into the closet. Your closet is your inner man. And you're going into the secret place of the Most High Yah. Okay? And the Father which see it in the spirit, in the secret place, shall reward thee openly. And for this reason is the reason why many people have not got their prayers answered. This is for many reasons why people have not been blessed by y'all. You know how somebody might have a sickness or an illness, they still have to follow the protocol of the world. Why? Because they have no relationship with the Father. They don't know how to even enter into the closet. I had to explain that today too to my son. The closet is not your flesh, baby. The closet is your spirit. You see, the closet is your spirit. Any gift that Yah has given us, let's go back to Samson. You remember Samson? You would think that his hair was his strength, but guess what? All the gifts that Yah gives us from the kingdom comes to the spirit of a man. Once he realized the connection to what Yah has blessed him with, then he can speak it in the flesh. But that's why people don't give him the glory and the honor for the gifts that he has instilled in them, because they don't know that it came from the spiritual realm. But we would think it came from the natural. The natural can't hold no spirit, no gifts or no power and no nothing until it come through the spirit realm. And that's why Samson was able to destroy the place, and it destroyed the whole thing, even himself. But he didn't have no hair, so how did he destroy it? And why is David hooping and hollering in the book of Psalms from the beginning to the end, telling the Father, bless me, protect me, kill them, destroy them, Father. They doing this, they doing it, they doing it. But wait a minute, wasn't you the one that killed the giant with the little rock? See, I'm sure if I go in there, and I'll try it tomorrow, David is probably will have something showing that it wasn't him that killed the giant. But even if he tell us it wasn't him, we still gonna say it was David, it was the man. You see, this is the problem that I have had since I was a teenager. I cannot understand why everybody get the glory for the right. Everybody get the glory and the honor for what the right hand and the stretched out arm does. That's why I always wonder why no one ever taught the people the right hand and the stretched out arm. Why ain't nobody ever taught that? I never heard it coming up. I never hear it now. Never heard it outside of myself. But I always wondered about that. It's because they can't get the glory. They can't get the honor. You have to flip that bad boy right over to him. And I asked the Father, I said, Father, but you letting them tell this story. You letting them say this and say that. And it was you all the time. David ain't won no battles. Every time Israel fought, they fought with less number, and they fought in their ignorance, and y'all defeated every time. And this is where I'm at today. So I kind of feel that, Father. I see where you're coming with that. Even to today, this is the example that makes me wonder how sick people are today. That everybody get the glory, even Enoch. All the books, everybody get glory and honor and praise. Everybody be dissected, looked in, this and that. Oh, they did it. Oh, they did that. But nobody really realized. Y'all know who willed this thing? Do y'all understand who willed? I don't get it. And it ain't meant for me to get, because the comforter has to keep comforting me. Deborah, it's okay. These things need to be. I don't need them to give me anything. They couldn't give me themselves. They couldn't give me the spirit that I blew in them to be one in me and me in them. I don't want nothing else from them. Let them believe what they want to believe. Let them do what they want to do. You notice I didn't come to change it. He sure didn't. He didn't come to change, because if the earth dried up when the flood, okay, where did those spirits go? You notice Ham went looking at his daddy. You see what I'm saying? Those spirits didn't leave, y'all. Something something ain't never been right. And we won't look to the Father, the Creator, and say, Father, can you make it make sense to us? Because we so stupid. We so dumb. We so ignorant, Father. We all that you said that we are. We nothing. When we come to that conclusion, Yah would swiftly bring his light so bright in us. But we're not going to go there. We still waiting for cotton candy. Okay, they always said the devil's busy. Never blaming their own flesh. You right. Never blaming their own flesh. 100. You sure right. Amen. Amen. Beautiful spoken, Deborah. All praise to the Most High. Glory and power. Ahaya, ahaya. I know that's right. Amen. I'm so glad you guys are still on here. Okay. Thank you. It's okay, sister. Romans 8. I think that might have been one of, no, what's Roman? Yeah, I got a lot of Romans on here. I'm going to finish that tomorrow. It was Romans 8 and 28. Yeah, this sister go to her grave, never understanding that. And y'all ain't going to give me no understanding in it. So I guess I'm stuck. I'm stuck on stupid. Because I don't understand that. I never could understand all that he done. Why are we giving everybody the glory, the honor? Why are we exalting Enoch? Why are we exalting Abraham? Why are we exalting and not the one who did the work in them? That's crazy. Mentally, that's crazy to me. It ain't meant for me to understand it. Romans chapter 8 and verse 28. And it reads, and we know that all things work together for the good to them that giving gave Yah. Giving gave is when we give him us. What's that? What are we giving him? Our spirit. That's what he says. Give me your heart, your mind. And it says soul, but it's your spirit. See, a lot of you all don't understand. You got a spiritual heart and you got a spiritual mind. He said, give it to me. He already told you he can't deal with us in the flesh. So he don't want your strength in your flesh. He don't want your mind of your flesh. He don't want your mind, your heart of your flesh. He's speaking of your spirit. Okay. And it says here in 28, and we know that all things work together for the good to them that giving gave Yah, to them who are called according to his purpose. You see? In this day and time, they would never preach that. They would never preach because they want the world to think that they have conquered truth and that it's about the world getting victory with Yah. That's how they teach it. Yep, that's true. Romans chapter 8 and 28. And we know that all things work together, so true, for the good to them that giving gave Yah, to them who are the called according to his purpose. That's right. 100. Yeah, they prayed in the name of Yeshua. Like a man was speaking about that, and I think somewhat like that as well. It's if he's measuring us by spirit, then it wouldn't be what we say as far as the name by flesh. You get what I'm saying? Does that make any sense? And they prayed in the name of Yeshua, and there is no power there. And the reason why it's no power there when they pray in that name of Yeshua is because they praying in the name of the flesh of a man. And that's why they have no power. But when you know Yah, oh, Deborah, you finna go there, ain't you? Oh, yes. When you know him, you don't even have to call his name. Woo! Well, what do you mean, Deborah? He said, greater is he that is in thee than he that is in the world. And if he's so great in you, you're going to call him for what he is in you. So whatever that is, guess what? He got the hook up already in you. That's so beautiful. And I don't know why people don't see that. While we all living off his breath. Someone said, everybody else gets the glory while we all are all living off Yah's breath. Exactly. That's sad. And but guess what? It became sad when I was like a teenager in my young adulthood. And as I got like 20 up in my 20s and 30s, I couldn't understand. I said, well, do they not see you in this here, Father? I will be reading the Bible in the Old Testament and saying, oh, that was you. I can see you. I see you. I see what you do. But then, as I used to stay going to the church, y'all. I used to listen to preachers on television. Yeah, I was glued to all that. And I couldn't, and I'd be fussing and arguing, trying to figure out, well, why are you saying that? Why are you giving this individual the glory? And I was just screwed up because I was like, couldn't understand why everybody get the glory outside of he that is all glory. It just didn't make any sense. That's what I was wondering. What about their spirit? That's what I was wondering. 2 Chronicles 7:14. The one thing we can do collective, but have never done. And that's 2 Chronicles 7. 2 Chronicles. Second Chronicles, chapter 7 and verse 14. Okay. When I be going through, that stripper give me strength. Okay. I don't know, 2 Chronicles chapter 7 and verse 14. 2 Chronicles chapter 7, verse 14. If my people which are called by my name shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven and will forgive their sin and will heal their land. Now, listen to what he said. Who is he talking to? This is in Chronicles back in the Old Testament. Who is he talking to? Do you know who he's talking to? In 2 Chronicles chapter 7, verse 14, who is he speaking to? When I be going through, that scripture gives me strength. Okay. Ain't that the truth? That's some crazy stuff though, ain't it? Very sad. I thought only I felt it. Would you say you thought only I felt that way? Okay. So in 2 Chronicles and chapter 7 and verse 14, he's talking to Israel. And Yah here, if Israel repent, he's talking to Israel. In that verse 14, he's talking to Israel and telling them if they could only do what he asked them to do. But first and foremost, they had to humble themselves. That's what I like about it. Sit yourself down. Sit down. Humble yourself. Go low. Sit down. They don't understand nothing like that. So here in 2 Chronicles chapter 7, verse 14 is speaking to Israel. Yah will hear if Israel repent. He was waiting for Israel to repent. And I don't think they did. To be honest, I don't think they did. Okay, so I say, Sister Deborah, appreciate each and every last, and repent. That's it. And that's even like today, in this day and time, the Father says, that's all that's on the table. And I think that's beautiful, because if He have me to teach it and say that's all that's on the table, then in Him there's hope. Can I see the hope? Nope. But in Him there's something. If He said that's all that He has on the table in this day, in this midnight hour, this day here, critical time like no other, He's saying that repentance is all that's on the table. So if y'all looking for Him to put something else on your table, you can get your tail somewhere and sit down. Y'all ain't gonna play that. He said all that's left is repentance. So I, Sister Deborah, appreciate each and every last one of you all tuning in, and I hope you got something out of it. And I say unto you, I hope you all had a wonderful Sabbath day, because I did. And I still, and I do. I thank the Most High Yah for it, and Him just being able to commune with me. And He saw this Sabbath day, I was doing some battling. I was battling situations, and yet in all, He still wanted me to sit down and just read and listen to what He was saying behind what needed to be said. And I'm grateful for Him knowing how I am and how He can comfort me, because He know me. Okay, so I give Him all glory and all praise, and I say unto you all, thank you, thank you, thank you. All righty, all right, and I'll be back. Shalom and shalom.